In this next step, we're going to create a database, which means we're going to model the database graphically and use that to generate the database script and to create and populate the database with sample data. The procedure I'm following is appropriately named Create a Database. Let me again go over to Genero Mobile. And the first step we're going to do is we're going to look for our 4dbx file. If I go into my database node, I see that I have my database.4dbx. Let's go ahead and double click on that to open it. The Meta Schema Manager is launched for viewing and modifying the schema. You can see that we have one table out there already. It's called seqreg, and this table is to manage any serial keys that we may define. Now I'm going to go ahead and add a table. If you look inside of your documentation, you can see the type of table we're adding, but let me take you through the process now. I right click and I say Add Table. I want to give it a new name of account, and then I'm going to go down and click on the first column that's there. I want this to be an ID column. I want it to be serial, and we're going to continue on. I'm using my tab key to go down and insert a new row. First name is going to be a character 32. Last name is going to be a character 32, and I'm going to make all of these character 32 fields. We'll have a company in there, and we're going to have a phone number. So I've gone through, I've defined a table, and I've given the table 5 columns. I want to add a primary key to this, so I'm going to right click on the table and I'm going to add a constraint or an index. I want it to be a primary key constraint. You can see the type of things you could have added. I want it to be on the ID column, so I'm going to select ID column. I could rename it if I wanted. I click OK, and you can see that the ID is now a primary key. I click on this row, and over in my properties, here's my ID column. I can go ahead and click and set it so that it's not null. By doing this, that's also a not null constraint. Those were the things that it wanted me to do when creating this account table. I now need to go ahead and save this. I have an asterisk up here, which means it's not saved. I save my file. And now I want to generate the script. So I right click on this my database.4dbx and I say generate database creation script. I want to select to populate the database with sample data, and I click generate. Here you can see the database script has been created for you. If I right click there, I can see the name my database sqt_x. My next step is to save this database creation script. We have a special place we want you to save it in. You'll notice under the database maintenance, under create database, we already have this script defined. We want to replace it with the script that we have, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a save as. We want to navigate so that we are in this database maintenance folder, and we're replacing the my database sqt_x.4gl. I don't need to reinsert it as it already exists, so I'm going to deselect the insert the file, and I'm going to say OK. Do I want to override it? Yes, I do. So now I have my database creation script under a node, an application node called Create Database. Let me right click on Create Database and select to execute. You can see down inside of my output, it's saying that the database was created with the exit code of 0, and that's what we wanted. So now we have a database existing. The database has my account table, and my account table is populated with data. Now that the database has been created, we can go to our next step where we create our form and our program from that database definition.